Sentire Media.
Ciao a tutti and welcome to Venice Talks, a podcast series dedicated to Venice in Italy. I'm your host, Monica Cesarato, a Venetian food and travel blogger. Join me as I share my insider knowledge to help you explore Venice at 360 degrees. In this weekly podcast, we'll dive into the heart of a city, uncovering hidden stories and connecting with the people who make Venice unique. The artisans, the writers, the fashion designers, the bloggers, the journalists, and more. Let's break free from cliché and discover the true essence of Venice, not just the monuments, but the vibrant people, the Venetians. Experience Venice the right sustainable way. You can find me on my blog at www.monicacesarato.com and across all social media platforms. Enjoy the episode and let's journey through Venice together. Your voice in Venice Talks. What do you love most about Venice? A hidden corner? A special memory? The way the light hits the water? Send me a short audio clip, maximum 2 minutes, via email at info@monicacesarato.com or via WhatsApp, and I might include it in an upcoming episode of Venice Talks. Can't wait to hear your stories. Let's share the magic of Venice together.
Good morning, Monica. This is Renee. We have visited Venice many times, and Venice is truly my favorite city in the world. When we visit, we usually stay about a month, which is simply wonderful. We always stay in the same location, so we have found our favorite little spots, our favorite bakery, our favorite coffee shop. My husband especially loves to sit down on the canals in the evenings and drink a cup of coffee and just watch the world go by. It's just fantastic. The last trip that we had was last October, and it was a little different. We found a couple things that we had not experienced before. The Biennale art exhibit was there, and I cannot express enough how much I enjoyed that. Absolutely amazing. We also got to go to a book talk with David Hewson and some other authors. Loved that. I myself am a writer, so I truly enjoyed listening to them. Something that was really fun and kind of outside of our comfort zone is we were part of the Venice Marathon. We used to be runners in our younger day, and we decided that, gosh, if we're over there during the marathon, we are going to take part in that. And it was fantastic. Absolutely had the best time. And then we ran across Monica's food tour. Oh my gosh, I don't know why I haven't done food tours before while we've been over there. But Monica, I loved it. You were such a gracious host. Took us to fun places, gave us some history on the food, history on the wine. Really, truly, truly enjoyed the evening. So we thank you so much for that. And I look forward to getting in touch with you the next time that we're in Venice. Thank you so much, Monica.
Welcome back to Venice Talks, Season 3, Episode 5. Hi everybody and welcome back to Venice Talks. Today I don't have just one, but I have two special guests on my show, and it is Michela Canzi Babini, the director of the Place of Wonders Foundation, and Alain Bullo, the general manager at Londra Palace Venice. Hi guys, how are you?
Hi, Monica. Very well. Thank you for having us.
Hi, good morning to everybody. Yes, very well.
So, I'm having two people today because it needs two people to present this wonderful project that you have created in Venice, that it is the Mano project. I'm going to start with Michela. The Place of Wonder Foundation is dedicated to supportive Italian craftsmanship. Can you tell me more about the origin and the mission of the Place of Wonders?
Yeah, sure. So we are an Italian family, and we are deeply in love with our country. And as owner of a small collection of hotels, we recognize the unique value of Italian cities, thanks to their rich history, heritage, and tradition. This inspired us to start the Place of Wonder Foundation 3 years ago, with the mission to promote and preserve the artistic and artisanal tradition that characterize our destinations. Also, with the foundation, we have set up a scholarship program for young talents who wish to start a professional training in traditional crafts. This is to ensure that these traditions are passed on to future generations.
Yeah, because this is a big problem worldwide, I think, that we are losing out, everybody wants to go into technology and we're losing out of the crafts. So it's very important to have the young people to do this.
Yes, I totally agree with you.
Alain, what role has the Londra Palace Venice played in this project that the Place of Wonders has started, and what motivated your involvement?
Of course, we are part of the family, so the Londra Palace is, of course, owned by the Babini family. But the real thing is that we are involved because we are in Venice. So since ever we can say, or we can say on the last 15, 20 years, we are working a lot with all the Venetian artisans. So it was, of course, for us, the normal thing to help and to work with the Place of Wonder. So with Mano, we went with Michela to choose the correct first really players, and so was really what we have done at the beginning.
But it is very important, I think, for our for the local businesses in Venice to have this strong connection, this network trying to work together and give back to the city, as well as working with the city. So Michela, how do you select the artisans and the designers, the people, and also the teachers that are involved in the project? What are the key criteria?
Well, we focus on passion and dedication first, and we look for craftsmen and women who are committed to preserving traditional craft, but are also attentive to add a touch of modernity to their work. And of course, it's crucial that they share the foundation's value of spreading their traditional knowledge to our community, as Alain said, and passing on their skills to new generation. As you said, it's very important that young generation get interested in this traditional craft, and because we are losing it much more quickly than we think.
Yeah, of course. And did you get a big response? I mean, did you get a lot of inquiries and people wanted to take part in the project?
Yes, many artisans have no one to pass their business to, and they are looking for a new generation to new young people to teach their skills, and this is a very big problem.
What about the young people? Did you get a lot of people applying to part of the project to participate as students?
Yes, and this was overwhelming, to be honest. We didn't think that our project was very well accepted as the training project that we were offering to the city. We were very happy, and this is why we are already at our second year of training program that we are offering.
Okay, fantastic. I love this project. When I heard about it last year, I thought, oh my God, finally somebody was doing something, not just talks, but is doing something for real in the city of Venice to help the artisan, because there's a lot of, let's help the artisans, let's do this for the artisan. But then I think at the end, it always boils down to a lot of publicity, a lot of talks, but in concrete, nothing. For real, nothing really happens. Alain, how have the guests of the Londra Palace Venezia responded to this project? Because I know you show a capsule collection at the end of a project that is produced by the students. What do your guests think about this?
But it's nice because at the Londra Palace we decided years ago not to have any display windows, so the commercial one. I mean,
that is so not Venice.
Exactly,
Every
but
hotel in Venice,
but
even the smallest one, has this.
exactly, and this is the way, of course, that we work, and it's easy when we just refurbish last year or the ground floor, and so we asked to the architect to do something, just a display window, but just for the things coming from our artisans. So there is no name, nothing, but the clients, there is a storytelling behind that. So at the beginning, we had all the first. So last year we had the first 5 artisans, and they were on the Mano project and the Place of Wonder project, of course. And so there were a sort of souvenirs that the clients they saw inside the displayed windows, and explaining that was for the foundation, and at the end they can help the young people, they can end the foundation. So it was really amazing because they immediately understand that it wasn't something that they were there just to sell or just to have money for the hotel, but it was something completely different, really, where we involved the young people, the artisans, and then at the same times we can, with the concierge, we can say to the clients that they can really go to see these artisans. Of course, everybody knows Venice for Murano, for the glass factories, and for a lot of things like that. But
Of course.
really, if you can imagine that you explain that there is also another way to see little artisans, for example, the 2 ladies that they work just for the purse, and then it's another kind of job in a way that they have really problems to continue that kind of art, and we are helping young people to do that. So they're really immediately involved, and you can show something different, really explain another history, and
it is another storytelling of Venice. It is the storytelling that should be done about Venice. Because Venice was built on its merchants and on its artisans, and I think
absolutely. And sometimes
we
you
forget
don't
that so much.
exactly. You don't think that we still have amazing little artisans that they are spread in all the city, and they are doing amazing things all the time. I say the same thing. People, they want to go to the gondola and to have a gondola ride. But I say, before going to the gondola ride, this year, for example, we have an amazing gentleman that is doing the forklift. That is the part of one part of the gondola.
Which one of the 4 do you have?
It's the name is the Forcola, and the name of the gentleman is Saverio Pastor.
Oh, Saverio, yes, I know him very well.
When you send the clients, I say, before doing a gondola ride, go to see what Saverio is doing, how he is managing the wood, and all the history that there is behind the gondola, or going to San Trovaso to see how really they work the gondolas, and after that do a gondola ride. So the experience is completely different. It's not just the gondola ride with the gondolier, we know everybody that there are particular people, and so and really it's not only the storytelling, but it's really an experience, a completely different experience, and you really go inside what it's the real Venice, and what we love in Venice.
Well, it also makes you understand why you should pay a certain amount of money if you want to buy something that is handmade, and you cannot expect it to cost like something that is made by a machine. And is not until you see how hard it is to make something, the time that it takes, and the skills and the experience of these people have been working for years and years and years. I don't think until people see, for real, they don't really understand. Michela, the collection emphasizes the specific materials and traditional technique. How were these choices made? What stories do they tell? Why did you choose? I know that now you're going into the lace, but how did you choose glass?
Well, we prioritized high craftsmanship that reflect the tradition of the city, but also the social fabric of the city. We we wanted to demonstrate also that traditional and well-crafted made in Italy items can be accessible and part of everyday life. You know what I mean? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Not only like a crazy big piece of art that only few can have. What the Each piece of our capsule collection is made with the finest technique and materials, as you said, and is designed to be a Venetian memory. When you go and you see how the beads are made by our artisan, it's just mesmerizing. You go there and you see how each bead is made with so much passion and technique, and you just fell in love.
Mm.
So, but at the same time, it's something that you can hold forever. It's a jewel that you can afford, and it's a memory of your trip to Venice, and
Mm-hmm.
it's you can be an ambassador of Venetian craftsmanship around the world once you go back home. So
Mm-hmm.
it's something that we really wanted to share with our guests and friends.
Mm-hmm.
So
Is this project we were talking about it before we started the interview? This project you started in Venice because I think there was a need as well. Personally, I think you caught the right moment. I think. Are you planning to do something similar in other cities in Italy and in the world? Maybe. I know you're doing something similar in Florence, but is you go a school involved, so it's a bit different. But are you planning to expand this?
Yes, we are. As you said, we started the first project in Florence in collaboration with jewelry school Lao, Le Arti
Mm-hmm.
where we already awarded 13 scholarships so far.
Oh, wow.
Yes, it's we also have a hotel there, the place Firenze, and we open up artisan workshop to our friends and guests for free through craftsmen who believe in our project. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
in Umbria,
Mm-hmm.
another place where we're starting our project. After renovating Borgo dei Conti Resort, we are supporting a weaving atelier which uses ancient looms. It's
Mm.
called Giuditta Brozzetti, and we are providing for scholarship for a year-long project that we have named Passaggio del Saper Fare.
Mm-hmm.
This is another very important project we are following very closely because this is another art that we are losing. We are also conducting research to create a network of artisans in Umbria,
Mm-hmm.
similar of what we're establishing in Venice to promote and support the thread in Umbria.
Fantastic. Alain, how long have you been in Venice, by the way? Because from the name,
Myself,
from the name,
yeah.
you don't sound Venetian. From the name.
No, in reality, I'm half and half. So my father is a real Venetian.
Ah, right. Okay.
I was born really one bridge after the Londra Palace. So
Oh,
I'm
really?
really very not involved, but it's part of my blood for really
Oh,
for a lot of
then
reasons.
the next question is definitely for you because I thought I was gonna ask you something, but I thought, well, maybe if it's not Venetian, it's not gonna. The carnival has started.
Yeah.
Okay. Carnival, of course, so we know it's historic of Venice. He was born in Venice and everything, and obviously the artisan were so much part of this. What are the challenges? First, that the Londra Palace, is confronted by when you have a big crowds and stuff like that, like now, but also what are the changes that you've seen through the years in your city? Also from a point of view of art, since you work with the artisans and so on, in general, what are the challenges? What are the differences that you see?
Of course, the problem that we have in Venice, but it's not only in Venice, it's all around the world, it's the over-tourism. So I made a master after university here in Venice, probably 30 years ago. And we were speaking about how many people we can manage in one day in Venice. And so after 30 years, we are exactly at the same point.
Mamma mia.
But before we had probably 21,000 beds in Venice. Now I don't know if we are 50, 60,000 or something like that, with really so many
Wait,
people.
we're talking about the official ones, but let's
Exactly.
not talking about the
No,
unofficial ones.
exactly. So the problem is for sure coming back in one, what it's the Venice, how many people we can afford in one day. Of course, it's not nice when you say to the people that we can close the city because you can imagine that people say, you want just rich people, you're working in a 5-star hotel. It's not that the problem. It's in my opinion, and really we were speaking about that with a lot of professors 30 years ago, but we are exactly at the same point 30 years later. It's that we have to decide, the city, the politician have to decide how many people we can afford in one day. In a certain point, Venice, it's not Disneyland, but we can say that it's an open museum. And so when you are going to the Sagrada Familia in Barcelona, you have to book in advance. If you're going there, you didn't book the entrance, you cannot go because probably it's already fully booked. And in my opinion, for Venice, you have to imagine something like that. So if they want to say to the people that they have to pay or not, this is a political problem. For me, it's not the point that probably people, they don't have to pay. But we have to say, I don't know, now we have Carnival. They started last weekend and it was really a mess with so many people. So they have to decide how many people we can afford. So we say, I don't know, 100,000 people per day. Okay, you have to book in a way your ticket. Probably you don't need to pay. I don't know, this is a political problem. But if you have your ticket, you can get in. If you have no ticket, you cannot get in. And then you have red moment that you cannot get in. You have orange moment that you can go in, and red, of course, and green you can enter. So probably we have to think Venice on that way. It's not easy. It's not really not marketing, we can say things.
But sorry, Alain, don't you think it should go hand in hand with a good, proper marketing campaign of insisting for people to stay more than 3 or 4 nights, and that will help even more? I mean, I'm all for managing the numbers. I've been saying this for 20 years that we had this problem. But shouldn't it be that, the storytelling should be done in a way where people want to stay in Venice for so long, then we wouldn't have, because the problem with the numbers is the one-day trippers. We all know that, it's been proved,
yes, this is the problem all around.
And I got to say, if a one-day trippers came and went to spend money in the city, that will be okay. But the problem is they come and they don't spend.
Yeah, but of course, you are completely right. But we cannot say, people, you cannot come because you don't want to spend money. We can, of course.
I wish we could.
No, of course. But in a way, I can understand people that they don't have a budget, but they want to come to Venice. So we have to give to them the possibility to come to Venice and to see the city, but to see also the city, how it's the normal way that you can walk, that you can see Venetians somewhere, because it's still a real city where you have people that they are really living on. So it's really, you can, but we can say, okay, but you cannot come, I don't know, the August 15th, 200,000 people in the city. It's not possible. You can walk. You cannot walk.
The weekend, I was shocked that there were so many people when there was nothing happening really. Because yes, the carnival started, but really not as it used to be. I mean, I remember
No,
the same
exactly.
crowds. I remember the same crowds in the 80s. I remember them.
Yeah,
But
do you
there was a
remember?
lot of things happening all over the city.
Absolutely, but it was a lot of things to do, or probably not so many things to do. But music, for example, in Samek Square, I
Oh my God.
remember
Do you remember?
when I was young and we were 30 people, old friends, that we wear costume and we were
I
prepared
know.
that kind of costumes weeks
So I
in
assume you're old,
advance.
maybe, I don't know how old you are, but it sounds like you're old enough to remember when they used to be in St. Mark's Square. There was one year where they had, I was so, I can't remember, could they even move? But we were sitting on the floor with guitars, where everybody dressed
Exactly.
as Pulcinella. I think that was the
And
best
we
carnival.
were dancing with the tourists because
When you're old enough, when you're old
there was
enough,
not
and
the yeah, and there was not so many tourists, so that's why now
no.
you don't see any Venetians around,
But you don't see
so
anybody
it's
dressed up apart from
exactly.
the rented costume. I was on Saturday by mistake because I avoid the St. Mark's Square as a plague during carnival time. But I passed through as a mistake and I thought, okay, where are the costumes? There's
Yeah,
nothing. And was the first day, official first day of carnival. That's a bit sad. And I know because I've just interviewed the people running the
yeah.
carnival.
And now the carnival, it's really more inside palaces.
Yeah.
Of course, there you need a lot of money because you have to rent the costume, you have to pay to get in. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not anymore, we can say, the carnival that people are outside, everybody dressed, because I think that also the tourists, they have to play the game. So if you are coming to
Mm-mm-mm.
Venice in a way and you are coming for carnival, you have to be dressed. That
Mm.
you don't need to be dressed as a king or really
No,
with, but you have really
even just a
to have,
mask.
yes, something that you can really go outside and you can really, of course, now they try to have less things because if you're doing something in Samak Square, you have so many people, and so it could be a problem. So
Mm-mm-mm.
at the end, you don't have so many things happening outside.
Mm. Michaela, go back to you. Let's go back to serious stuff because we're getting me and
That
like
was
getting the
very
we're
easy.
getting depressed. We're getting depressed. Michaela, can you share a particularly meaningful story or challenge from the development of Mano a Mano? Something that hard, something that you found hard to organize. I don't know, anything that comes to mind.
Well, let's say that at the beginning, when we first started with Alain, of course, we started developing Mano Mano project in Venice. We were naive, and our initial idea was to partner with local craftsmanship school
Mhm.
for our scholarship initiatives. But unfortunately, it didn't work out because
Mm.
we couldn't find craftsmanship school.
Isn't it
So
sad that in a city that was built on guilds of crafts, we do not have a school of such a,
yes, we were quite sad about it, but we started again with with new initiatives, and we focused to find individual artisans,
Mhm.
individual master artisans who shared our vision and wanted to get to the mission with us and invest in the city. But this meant finding the right thread, the right artisan, the right workshop, and work side by side to create everything from scratch. Every aspect and do everything together and create a professional training program to propose to the city. So we did. We did last year with Alessia Fuga and Marisa Convento. Uh,
Mhm.
they worked so much with us. So we managed to propose to the city a 250 hours training program.
That is a lot of hours.
It's a lot of hours because our goal is really to train young people to to start a career
Mhm.
in this art, and not just to have an idea. of what it is, this art. So we did this by application, and we received a lot of applications. We were overwhelmed. We were so happy. We didn't expect so many applications from young Venetian people, young and less young. We don't
I know.
care.
And you know what I found it funny? But everybody says Venice is dying. And then you had so many people applying. So it
Yes.
means these people live in Venice. So it's not that Venice is dying at all. It's just we're not giving the opportunities. That's why, you know.
Yes, but you know what? I think that today the time is quite mature to do this, because we are seeing a lot of initiatives in Venice, where when very Venice is center of national, international craftsmanship events. So all these events create more interest among young Venetians toward this arts and this craft. So with Mano a Mano and our initiative, we want to meet this growing demand for skill training, and we want to invest right back into the city. We want to help to maintain Venice's reputation as a true center of craftsmanship. So I know that the place of wonder cannot be the answer to, to this, but we are very happy to be part of it.
Hey, you should start a school.
Yes.
But no, seriously, I
Our-
mean, you know, things starts from talking, you know. I honestly, the other day, just to give an example, the other day I was invited to a christening of a gondola. That was an amazing thing, as usual, it's beautiful, in Square Santisepo. And I took an American friend, and the first thing she said to me as she walked into the square was, "Oh, so how come you don't have a museum of the gondola making?" And I
Yeah.
thought, why don't we? Tell me,
Yeah.
why don't we in Venice have something like this? I mean, it's amazing the amount of things we could do and we don't. Oh, well, never mind. So you got involved, I see that you got involved with lace as well this year. Am I wrong?
No, you're right. You are right, because on the wave of excitement of all this,
Well, it wasn't, you know, rightly so. It was a success, so rightly so.
so yes, we not only renewed this glass bead making course this year with another 4 scholarship, but we considered another Venetian tradition that really need new people. Also to face the demanding production is the Burano lace. And we are this year
But sorry, they're working to be like like the beads that have been become an intangible goods for UNESCO. They are working on that as well, aren't they?
Exactly. They are working. I think they are nearly there, to be honest.
Oh, that was quick compared to the poor people of the Comitato. It took them like 12 or 13 years. Oh, that was good. Okay,
Yes.
they learned the lesson.
Yes. Yeah, but they deserve it. They're doing
Oh, yeah, of
so
course.
much. We are working with Martina Vidal, Burano, providing 2 scholarships this year.
Okay.
Because they really need a one-to-one course. This year we have the new 2 new lace makers, both at 26 years old. They're
Cool.
young.
Nice. Young people. Nice. I like that.
It's so nice to see them learning from
The old ladies. Yeah, from the old.
yes, let me say that. And they pick up skills that you really can't learn any other way, because
And I think particularly the Burano lace is something, it's not just about the skills, it is a way of life, because it's not just about learning how to make a lace. It is the way, I don't know, the way they sit, the way they chat, the way they, I don't know, you go there is just, is another thing.
You're completely right. And remember that a couple of weeks ago, we were in Burano with Martina Vidal, and it was amazing because there was two ladies that they were working the laces. So two teachers in a way, but there was a lady that she was more than 80 years older,
I
and
know.
another one that she was roughly 40, 45, I don't remember exactly. But it was so funny to see the old lady that she was explaining how to work with the other lady that probably it was already 30 years that she was working on laces, and to
I know.
explain what to do and what to do better, one thing. And we stayed probably 30 minutes speaking with the oldest lady, and she said that it wasn't just the lace that she was working on, but it was all her history, the way, the passion, the
Yeah.
family story on that kind of lace. It's really, it's not just an object that
Yeah.
the artisan they are preparing, they are doing, but it's something, it's part of the life, it's part of the history of Venice. And so they, when they're working and when you have that kind of object, you can really explain a lot of things, and you can really you have the story that it's, even if it's just on your table, it's probably speaking to you and say something to you that you can really understand from the history, from a lot of things. So it's amazing with Michela to start working on that and to see the eyes of these young ladies that they are starting with this kind of scholarship. So it's
Yeah.
really
So
amazing.
don't you agree with me that we need a crafts school in Venice? I mean, we
Yeah,
just lost the Battiloro. We just
Yeah.
yeah,
you know, it just closed down after, just because he couldn't find somebody to replace him. That is ridiculous that in you know in the situation we are here
yeah.
now, we cannot find somebody to do. I mean, he told me during an interview, I was talking to the girls and they were saying to me that one apprenticeship lasted one day.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
upset because he couldn't learn everything in one day. I was like, oh, excuse me.
No, but probably it's, I think that everybody has to do what they can do and what they really manage to do. So the problem probably you need a lot of money, you need to
Yeah, yeah, of
do
course.
another kind of job in a way. But why don't starting, it was exactly the first thing that when we started the Michela, it's
Mm.
what we have to do. There is no schools. Where we start? And really, we said, okay, little by little, because
Yeah.
at the beginning it was tough because, of course, also the artisans arriving, myself, okay, I'm the general manager of the Londra Palace, but I'm an hotel, so people they were saying what it was from me. It
Yeah,
was
because they usually, yeah, because usually the hotels go and ask for other things.
exactly,
Yeah,
and
I
our
get it. I understand.
foundation, yeah, but it's another foundation. We have so many foundation. But
Yeah.
little by little, to explain that, of course, we are an hotel, and of course, we will sell rooms, and we want to have clients that are paying for the
Of course,
bill.
why?
So this is our
You're a
job.
business, of
Exactly.
course.
But at the same time, it's to explain that I'm Venetian, I
Yeah,
love Venice, and we want to come back, and we want that people experience something different. The name of our collection, so as was Michela was saying, we have three hotels at the moment. So the place in Florence, the Borgo di Conti Resort in Montepetrioli, close by Perugia, and the Londra Palace Venezia. But the name of the collection is the hospitality experience. So really it's the way that we have decided, but not only because someone in the morning they wake up and said, okay, now this is the name, we have to work on the marketing and say that we want to do that. It's really not the way. We are part of Relais Chateau since so many years, and it's exactly where Relais Chateau is going. So of course it's to preserve the cuisine, the local cuisine, but it's also to preserve the people and to be the hotelier, to be part of that, and to be the people that they can also teach to the clients that are coming what is going on the world on a local point of view. And
of
so this
course.
is what we're doing. For example, on today and yesterday, we have a fun trip at the hotel with the travel agents from Belgium, France, and so
Mm-hmm.
on. What we are doing, it's people that someone is the first time they're coming to Venice, and the other one, they already know Venice. And yesterday, we went to see Lunardelli. So It's
Oh,
of
nice.
wonders. We went to Tessitura Bevilacqua.
Nice.
Now we have to leave, and we are going to see the ladies in Murano that they're teaching to the young for the pearls, and then we are going to Murano to see Martina Vidal, and
Yeah,
then
of
we
course.
come back and we do a tour of Venice, but with in a different way to see the graffiti that you can have a look all around the city. So
Hey,
we try to
I wanna do this fun trip.
if you want if you want with pleasure, we're
Next
leaving
time.
at 5 o'clock this evening from the Londra. So it's really something that we can uh, probably teaching is not the correct way, but to inspire people in a
Yes.
different way, to
Yeah.
say Venice, it's of course what you see everywhere, and of course you have to do gondola, you do whatever you want, but you have so many things that you don't know, and we can open some doors, but not because we other people they can do the same, but because we have a feeling with the artisans, with the people,
Mm-hmm.
and we can really you have to come back and say, okay, I've seen Venice, but I want to come back because there is so many things that I can
I
see
know.
next time, not only
I
what
know.
usually people are doing.
I
And
know. I
to
know.
do that in a correct way, we need to have less people probably in San Max Square during the day.
Yeah.
We need to walk as a Venetian, so to go faster and not to stop every 10 meters because five people that are working
And single file,
together.
single
Ex-
file, no,
exactly. So
five in a row.
little by little is, I think it's what Michela has created with the
Mhm.
foundation. So it's also, it also going to the major or to the city, saying there is no school. We are doing something, but why are you not doing something? So at the end,
Yeah.
if we have also other foundation, other people that because of course in Venice you have so many nice
Oh,
people, and we all speak about that. But of course we don't have the power. But little
yep.
by little,
Yep.
we can probably do that all
Mm-mm.
together.
Mhm.
Yes, Alain is right. We tried at the beginning. We tried to team up with institution to create
Yeah.
a
Don't we all try that first?
yes. You know,
Chi me ha done that? Chi me
again,
ha
we were a
done
bit
that?
naive,
Yeah.
but it was difficult, and it slowed us down a bit, and so we decided to go for
Mm.
smaller projects using
Yep.
private fund and our own resources,
Yep.
Alain, his team, the foundation team. Our projects are tangible at the end of the day. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? And we hope, on the other hand, we hope to be an inspiration. You know,
Mm-hmm.
to
Absolutely, absolutely.
uh,
Listen, Michaela, how can listeners support you, the project and all the initiatives? How can people get involved or, give a list? I know they cannot get involved because obviously this is directly to the local people living and training, but how can they support you?
Well, first of all our activities are on Instagram, and so they can visit our website, of course, to learn about the artisans who are part of the foundation. And feel free to contact us to discover more. And if you are interested on helping us foster new generation of maker, you can always make a donation.
Oh yeah, that's always so
Uh,
welcome, isn't it?
Yes, always.
So
Small or big, whatever is more than welcome. We have a dedicated fund that goes directly to scholarship program. So
okay.
you
So
can follow the journey of our students.
okay, last question very quickly for both. What's in project for next year?
Hmm.
Have you even thought about it because you just started this one? I know, sorry,
Yeah.
but for, I'll put it there just in case, we've expand.
Well, last year we tried to find a new location to have a bigger number of scholarships.
Okay.
We realized that with our master artisan that was not maybe the way, because our master artisan love the one-to-one teaching.
Yeah.
So probably we will look into researching what other traditional thread need to be passed down to new generations, to next generation, and we will go for new project in that sense. Of course, continuing what we are still doing, because they are going very well. And if the city and young generation still want to learn about lace and about glass bead, we are here to organize more courses.
So let's remind people where they can find you, both a website and the social medias, please.
So theplaceofwonders.org, and for Instagram is theplaceofwonders.foundation.
And Alain, that your mic is switched off, if you can switch back on, thank you. Where can people find the Londra Palace? Apart from being in Venice, in Venice,
just one
right
bridge
by
after
St. Mark's. Oh, and by the way, I got to say, I love your cocktail bar. I love your I had some of the best cocktails ever at your bar. I got to say, I love it. Okay, so that was just a little publicity from me as a cocktail drinker. Okay, you want a good cocktails, you go to the Londra, absolutely. But on which website and social media, please?
It's under, of course, Londra Palace Venezia. So you find londrapalace.com for the internet site. And you see also in Instagram as Londra Palace Venezia. So you can find there, and of course you can come in. You don't have to, even if you are not staying in at the Londra Palace with a room, you can get in, you can enjoy a drink, as you were saying.
I know. It's something that people don't realize that they can do in Venice, that I've discovered through the Venice Cocktail Week, about enjoying the beautiful cocktail bars of these beautiful hotels. And as one of the pleasure that at least once a month I try to do is to go every time to a different bar. And the mixology now is become very, very big in Venice. So it's nice. And you got some of the best barmen in yours, I got to say. Use natural.
Absolutely. And then you can enjoy some music every evening from 7 to 9. So it's
this I didn't know. Oh, okay. This one
it's very cozy, because, as you know, it's very intimate when you're getting at the Londra Palace. You come inside and you have people smiling and
can I just say you are those that give the biggest snacks with the cocktails. I really love it, because every time I go, I was like, why are they giving me so much food? But it's a pleasure, And then I realize it's because you don't want us to get drunk.
But now I really say to Marina, our bartender, that's probably one of the best one in Venice.
And I got to say, the funniest is the funniest.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But now we have also, because you have people that they don't want to get drunk, and of course they want to enjoy cocktails without alcohol. And so we have a huge list of drinks and cocktails without alcohol. So you have to come to see what we can do also without alcohol. So
the last time I've been was last year, and I remember there was during the Venice Cocktail Week, and I ordered one of the cocktails there. Marino looked at me and says, are you sure you want to drink her? Because Vassari says, it's quite important. And I looked at him, so I'm Venetian. He says, yeah, you're right. Here we go. He just because it wasn't so much of a cocktail. It was a time. It was 3:00 in the afternoon. You got a long way to go. It's all right. I'll be fine. I'm fine. I'm Venetian, all right. Guys, it was so nice talking to you. I hope to be able to interview next year with round 3 then at this point, with maybe another addition on top of a lace, on top of a glass or something else, maybe wood, like a gondola making or something like that. It was a pleasure, and good luck for everything. Seriously. Thank you.
Thank you, Monica. Thank you very much. Grazie.
Ciao.
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 Thank you again, Michela and Alain. You can find The Place of Wonders at www.theplaceofwonders.org or on Instagram at theplaceofwonders.foundation. Thank you again for listening. Venice Talks podcast is a production of Sentire Media, created, produced and hosted by me, Monica Cesarato. Follow Venice Talks wherever you get your podcast, and if you want to book a food tour or a cooking experience with me, you can find me over at www.monicacesarato.com and on all social medias with the handle at Monica Cesarato, where you can follow my adventures around Venice. And don't forget, if you love this episode, please rate it and leave a review. It's very much appreciated.
Sentire Media.
Hey, podcast producers and show hosts. Do you want to join a podcast network that celebrates all things Italian? At Sentire Media, we understand the allure of Italy and its unique culture. Our devoted team of hosts and producers are all driven by their shared passion for Italy. And we work tirelessly to create the best lifestyle podcasts and content that will whisk you away to the very heart of Italy. With us, you can savor the mouth-watering flavors, get lost in the stories from the past, break down the cultural barriers, and truly immerse yourself in the vibrant traditions of this intoxicating country. If you have a great podcast idea or are already in production and would like to join Sentire Media, head over to sentiremedia.com, that's SENTIRE media.com, and find out how to submit your show.